How the heck are you guys? Sorry I didn't schedule earlier. I wasn't sure when I was going to be able to go on because I had things and a coaching call, and we're going to leave here in a little bit to go to a graduation party, so I wasn't sure. So I'm hopping on to do a quick live. How's everybody doing? Oh, just pulling up the feed on my phone so I can see who hops on. Happy Tuesday. It's so funny. Earlier today, William went across the street to our neighbor. They have a little girl who's like 4.5, 5 years old. And they played. And it was funny. He was so hesitant and like clingy and shy and all that stuff when we went over to drop him off. Like we literally were just walking across the street, but he was like, but he came home and he had a whole bunches of fun. So it's just kind of fun to see, when your kids kind of just have those moments. It's fun. So, Jonathan, what is up? Thanks for hopping on. So today I want to talk about how Steve Jobs took a groundbreaking piece of technology and turned it into an instant global sensation overnight. Any guesses as to what he did? Anybody know? Have any guesses? That is what I'm going to talk about today. So let's go ahead and jump in. Okay, so first, before I jump into this topic really quick, I just want to say yesterday's live, if you missed it, go back and watch it. It is absolutely, I feel very strongly about what I spoke about yesterday, and there are so many of you that need to hear it. Today I was doing some studying and all that kind of stuff, and I was recording, like here's my little notebook of the stuff that I've been writing down today. And I recorded these little riffs and just talked about some stuff. And again, one of them, I really got into it because it was a similar topic. So go and watch yesterday's after this one so you can just know that you need to be just doing the things that I'm telling you, okay? Jonathan says mouse. I'm not sure if you're saying that's what Steve Jobs did, that turned a groundbreaking piece of technology into an overnight sensation. What's up, Lance? That is not correct, just so you know. Not what I'm going to talk about. But just like I said, and the title says, I want to talk to you about what Steve Jobs did to take a groundbreaking piece of technology and turn it into an overnight global sensation by doing something incredible. So the year is 2000 and I just forgot. I wrote it down in my other notebook that I don't have with me. Anyway, Steve Jobs was getting ready to do his keynote presentation. 2007. I think it was 2007. June 23rd, 2007. I remember the day, but I couldn't remember the year. I think it was 2007. June 23rd, 2007. Steve Jobs steps up on the main stage to give the keynote speech at that year's Apple stuff. And does anybody know what he talked about on June 23rd, 2007? Any guesses? It was the iPhone. Oh, look, Inception. It's me on screen. No, the iPhone. It was the keynote where the iPhone was released. Okay, so Steve Jobs had been working on developing the iPhone technology for quite some time, right? He was able to do the iPod and be able to digitize music and things like that, but the iPhone was something that was a long time coming, and it was an amazing piece of technology, right? And Steve Jobs gets up on the stage to give his speech and the keynote to announce it and talk about it. And guess what he did? that made it so impactful? First of all, does anybody remember either watching or has watched since his keynote speech? Anybody? If you have, give me some of those likes. Give me some of those thumbs up. Tell me that you watched it or not. So he got up on stage and he started talking. And it's funny what he started talking about. He did not start talking about the iPhone and this new piece of technology that they developed and all this stuff. No. He starts out and paints a picture of what life is like currently. How humans consume media, right? He talks about, having CDs and having DVDs and, DVDs at the time. And having to have a digital camera and a video camera and a telephone and a computer and all this kind of stuff, right? In order to, I just remember back in those days with CDs, like we used to have these huge like binders that were would carry 4 or 6 CDs per page, and they would be like this thick, and we'd lug them around everywhere in our car, and then we'd have to bring them into our desks because we didn't want them to melt in the car, right? And then we, listened to music that way, and then we had to do our research at desktops, at computers or laptops, but we were tethered to a location where we could get internet, right? And surf the web and get information. Then we also had digital cameras, which would take our still pictures, and they had these little memory sticks, and we had to take them out and put them into an adapter to get them onto our computer so that we could print them out into photo albums, and then we started saving them in hard drives and all this kind of stuff. Then we had video cameras, little camcorders that took actual tapes that went real, these little mini DV tapes. I wish I had one laying around. But they... and then we'd have to get all these connectors to be able to get it into our computer if we wanted to do something with it, right? And then we had our phones. A lot of people still had phones in their homes, landlines and things like that. But you could call and, do texting and telephone calls and stuff like that through cell phones as well. And so he painted this picture of what life was currently like. And it was just how everything was. That's how we consumed our media and how we used technology at the time. And then he changed and talks about what could be. Imagine having 1,000 songs in your pocket. Imagine being able to go to the grocery store and be able to look up a recipe right there while you're walking around the store getting the ingredients. Imagine being able to take pictures and videos and send them to your friends all around the world, all from the same thing, all from the same device, and it is in your pocket. And I remember, he pulled it out of his pocket and he held it up, and people were like, "Wow," right? And then he went back to the parody. He kept switching back between talking about how life was and how life could be, right? And then, ultimately he introduces the iPhone. And the iPhone took what could be and made it what is, right? It took all of those possibilities of having everything in one thing in your pocket, and that was the new reality. Now, why do you think the iPhone was so explosive and became such a huge deal? It was in the delivery of the launch, right? Do you see, Steve Jobs told stories. He told stories about how life was, how life could be. He kept bouncing back and forth and back and forth. And there's a process, there's a strategic and purposeful process of doing that to show people the benefits and get them excited about what could be. And then when you deliver what could be as what now is, people freak out, right? So think of it this way. Lance, you should watch it. It's almost 2-hour long keynote speech, I believe, but it's a good one still. So with that, was the iPhone a groundbreaking piece of technology? Absolutely. It was the first of its kind. Apple wasn't the only one trying to and developing the technology. They were the first because they're the innovators, and they were the ones that were able to put it out to the public first. Would millions of iPhones have sold regardless of if he told a story or not? Absolutely, there would have been success. So let's just pretend that I'm channeling my inner Steve Jobs here really quick, okay? So let's just say Steve Jobs, I get up on stage and I say, hey everybody, Steve here. I just wanted to tell you about something cool that we've been working on. Let me get this in my pocket. Okay. I'm calling this, here it is. I'm calling it the iPhone. And it's a telephone, a cell phone, right? And but the cool thing is like you can there's a camera built into it, so you can take pictures and videos and stuff. You can surf the internet on it. You can be able to call people all around the world face to face with this camera. It's cool. You can talk to people face to face. We call it FaceTime, right? And then we developed a way to be able to capture and get all of your music library and to digitally link it to this phone so you can listen to it all the time. It's got a headphone jack. You can listen to your music, that kind of stuff. Oh, and by the way, you notice there's just this one button. Like you can scroll and touch the screen to navigate stuff. And it's the iPhone. It's like $1,000, and it's going to be in stores like later on, right? If he would have done his keynote that way, would people have freaked out? Yes, there would have been people who loved it and been like, oh my gosh, this is incredible, right? But he told a story. He built pressure. He talked about what is versus what could be. And this is what makes what could be the reality that we all know. So do you see how it's different? It still would have been a smash. It was groundbreaking technology, right? All that kind of stuff. But the way that he painted the picture built up the excitement and made it something that was a global icon instantly, a status symbol, and took Apple's stock prices before the keynote were at like $7 and something cents, right? I'm going to look up really quick right now. Apple's stock at the close of the market today was $186.60 per share. Do you see? Like, we all know what Apple has become, but it's because of that launch. Okay? So what I want you to think of with your business, with your products and all those kinds of things, is you tell the story about what life is like without it. What life is currently like for the customers, for the people that you're wanting to serve that aren't in your world or don't know much about you or haven't hired you or whatever it is. Talk about what their real life is like. For all of you guys, you're going out, you're doing your own marketing, you're posting on social media, you're keeping your own books, you're booking your appointments, you're creating products, you're delivering your services, all that kind of stuff, right? And you're being told that you need to be publishing your story and doing things that will connect to your audience and all that kind of stuff, right? You're being told that you need to be doing that. But you have bills and you have a wife and you have kids and all of these things that you need to be doing. And sorry, my phone was being weird there. But you have all of these things that you need to do. But you know you should be doing it, but you're having a hard time focusing. Where do I start? I'm just going to go back to focusing on what I'm doing over here, right? And you do that over and over and over and over again. And you have some growth and you grow your business a little bit and you have good clients and things like that. Imagine being able to have your voice out there all the time, 24/7, talking, connecting to people, helping them understand who you are, what you do, and why you do it. And that happens all day, every day, while you sleep, while you work with clients, while you go to your kid's soccer game or your kid's dance recital. Imagine having those messages always out there and having people coming up to you virtually and looking and listening to what you say. And then booking a call or wanting to work with you or hiring you for this gig or buying your program. But instead you're like, oh, that sounds great, but like I've got so much stuff going on over here that I really need to focus on, getting these invoices done. I need to get these checks chased down. I got to take little Timmy to soccer practice later. Oh, that would be great. Imagine being able to focus that stuff, to grow your business, to hire somebody to keep your books, to chase down checks and invoices while you go to little Timmy's soccer practice and you go to the dance recital and you have fun and you connect with people and you have business coming in and you hire a team and you boost your local economy and all that kind of stuff, right? Oh man, that sounds incredible, right? So you see how I can help you have that. By sitting together with me, we condense your time, all the time that you've wasted and spent and worried about trying to figure out your story and your marketing messages and creating videos and all this type of stuff. We condense your time period and get it done quickly. You implement the things that I coach you on and it starts to work and you start to see an influx of business in your life. And everything goes good and all that kind of stuff. Do you see how I'm showing you, I'm using my business as the example of what life is like for you guys versus what it could be like by partnering or working with me, right? It's the same journey that you take your people on. It's the same kind of thing. You need to be intentional with it and be strategic and really think about it. Okay? Sorry, the hiccups just got me. So that, my friends, is just an example of how wrapping a product, a piece of technology in a story, turn it into a global, overnight, instant phenomenon, created and catapulted Apple into the stratosphere when it comes to branding and brand awareness, and made it a status symbol to have their product in your pocket. And now that even though a new one comes out every year, and the one that works in or one that's in our pocket works just fine, people will line up and wait in rain and terrible weather and all that stuff and pay $1,500 for a new one because of the relationship to the brand. Okay? So this is just going to be a short one. I have to go to a graduation party. But do you see how you can create the same kind of thing for your business, for your product, for your services? If you're stuck or you're hung up on it, I can help you and we can figure that kind of stuff out. But start to think about your business this way. You don't have to be intimidated because Apple is Apple and I'm Aaron Stewart. That's whose name I see on my screen. And I'm Aaron Stewart from Provo, Utah. I'm like, oh, well, that's right. You can have that same impact for the people that you serve, for your audience, okay? And if you think about it that way and use the examples and model what has been done, it will work for your business, okay? So that is my thought today. I'll probably do a second part of this and expand on it more when I have some more time. But Lisa's going to kill me if I stay on very much longer. So if you are new to this, if you have been watching these, share these, please. I am the only one that's been sharing them. I go and share it onto my personal timeline. If there was something valuable for you in anything that I said today, share it because I want your audience to be able to learn and grow as well, okay? So with that said, go out. Remember, sharing your story is the way to sell more of your stuff. And you can be intentional with your story and your experiences to be able to sell your products and services. And that is why we do what we do, to connect and help and serve and to earn money. Okay? You can do it. It just takes one story. We'll see you on the next one.